Welcome back to BS Coins World, the home for all things coin collecting and rare finds. In today's video, we're going to dive into the world of Washington quarters, specifically focusing on the 2006 Washington quarter that has shocked the coin collecting community with its potential value of up to $1 million. That's right, a simple quarter could be worth more than you ever imagined. So, if you're someone who loves checking their change or you have a stash of coins sitting around, this video is for you. Make sure you stay until the end because I'm going to break down exactly what makes these quarters so valuable and how you can tell if you've hit the jackpot. Let's start with a little background. The 2006 Washington quarter is part of the state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008 and featured unique designs for each state. These coins were incredibly popular, and millions were minted at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The P mint mark, of course, represents the Philadelphia mint. With such high mintages, most people would think these coins are just worth 25 cents, right? But as any coin collector knows, rarity, errors, and condition can change everything. The first thing to look for in your 2006 Washington quarter is any kind of mint error. Coins with errors like double dies, off-center strikes, and even missing elements can be worth a small fortune. The rarer the error, the more valuable the coin. One specific error to look out for is the double die error, where certain parts of the design appear doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. Check the details of Washington's face or the lettering on the coin for any signs of doubling. These errors can make your coin skyrocket in value. Condition is everything in coin collecting. Coins graded in mint state MS condition, especially those graded MS 68 and higher, can be worth thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars. The highest possible grade is MS 70, which means the coin is in perfect condition with no flaws under magnification. If your 2006 quarter is in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth much more than its face value. And if it's the rare MS 70, it could even reach that magical $1 million mark. Grading is done by professional companies like PCGS and NGC, so getting your coin professionally graded can help determine its true value. Now that we know why these coins can be worth so much, let's talk about how to identify if your coin is a potential jackpot. Doubled lettering or numbers, blurry or stretched details on Washington's face, an off-center strike or unusual edges, missing elements in the design. Next, check the overall condition of the coin. Is it shiny and free from scratches, dents, or tarnishing? The fewer the imperfections, the higher the potential grade. If you think your coin might be in mint state condition, consider sending it to a professional grading service. The grading process can help authenticate and certify your coin, which is essential for selling or insuring it. So, let's say you found a 2006 quarter with a mint error or in high-grade condition. What's next? How do you turn it into that potential $1 million payday? The grading will give your coin an official grade, and this certificate will increase its value in the eyes of buyers. High-grade coins with authenticated errors fetch the highest prices. Once your coin is graded, you have a few options for selling it. Rare and valuable coins often sell for the highest prices at auctions. You can check out coin auctions at major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. These platforms are trusted by collectors and can help you get top dollar for your rare find. We have something truly special and often overlooked coin, the 1950 Washington quarter. You heard that right. This simple coin could potentially be worth up to $1.1 million. Stick around because we're about to break down what makes this coin so valuable and how you could find one. Before we dive into the value of the 1950 Washington quarter, let's talk a little bit about the Washington quarter itself. First minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the Washington quarter replaced the standing Liberty quarter that had been in circulation since 1916. Designed by John Flanagan, it's a coin that has become a staple of American currency. But what makes the 1950 quarter so special? And more importantly, why is it commanding prices that could reach over $1 million? Let's find out. The 1950 Washington quarter itself may not immediately stand out to most collectors or casual coin hunters. After all, it was struck in high numbers, and many were put into circulation. But as with any rare and valuable coin, There are a few key factors that can make these quarters incredibly valuable. The 1950 quarter was minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D mint mark, and San Francisco, S mint mark. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch the highest prices. Some 1950 quarters have specific minting errors, such as double dies or unusual toning, which makes them highly collectible. Now, here's where the value skyrockets. Quarters from 1950 that have been perfectly preserved, meaning they're in mint state condition, are extremely rare. Out of the millions that were minted, very few survived without showing any wear or tear. These coins, graded at MS-67 or higher, are what attract serious collectors. A recent auction saw a pristine 1950 Washington quarter graded MS-68 fetch over $1.1 million. This is one of the highest prices ever paid for a Washington quarter. The rarity of a coin in such immaculate condition is what drives its value to these incredible heights. So, how do you know if your 1950 quarter could be worth millions? First, you need to get your coin graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. These grading companies assess the condition of the coin and assign it a score between 1 and 70, with higher scores representing coins in better condition. Look closely at Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. The sharper and more defined the details, the higher the grade. Coins with their original mint luster, that shine like they were just made, are highly desirable. Even the smallest sign of wear can reduce a coin's value significantly. So check for nicks, scratches, or any discoloration. And don't forget, some 1950 Washington quarters have valuable minting errors that can make them even more sought after. Things like double die obverse or off-center strikes could turn an ordinary quarter into a jackpot. If you have a 1950 quarter, examine it closely or take it to an expert to check for errors. So you might be asking yourself, how can I find one of these valuable coins? Well, believe it or not, some people have found rare 1950 quarters in circulation in old coin collections or even in rolls from the bank. It's rare, but it happens. We're talking about a humble yet iconic coin that could be hiding in your collection or pocket change. The 1951 Washington quarter that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.3 million for a quarter. Stick around because I'm going to tell you exactly why this coin is so valuable and how you can find one yourself. The Washington quarter has been a cornerstone of American currency since 1932, honoring the nation's first president, George Washington. But not all Washington quarters are created equal. Some, like the 1951 quarter, are worth more than you can imagine. First, let's dive into a little history. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932 to celebrate the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. It became so popular that the design was made a permanent part of the currency. The 1951 version might look like just another silver quarter, but here's where things get interesting. In 1951, these quarters were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. However, what makes the 1951 Washington quarter so valuable are the rare conditions, minting errors, and pristine grades that have been preserved over the years. So, you might be wondering, what makes this quarter worth more than a house? There are a few key reasons. Coin collectors grade coins on a scale from 1 to 70, known as the Sheldon scale. The closer your coin is to a perfect, mint state 70, the higher its value. For example, a 1951 Washington quarter graded MS-67 or higher can fetch thousands, but only one or two coins in the world might reach that perfect MS-68 or MS-69 condition, making them extremely rare. Only a handful of these 1951 quarters have been graded so high. In fact, one of the highest graded examples, an MS-68 Plus from the Philadelphia Mint, is where the $1.3 million price tag comes into play. This coin was perfectly preserved, looking almost exactly like the day it was struck. Minting errors or special varieties can also drive the price through the roof. Sometimes the dies used to strike these coins were slightly off, leading to double die errors, overstrikes, or even missing details that make a coin much more valuable to collectors. Now let's talk about what you should look for if you want to find this valuable coin. First off, the basics. The 1951 Washington quarter is 90% silver, which already gives it some intrinsic value, especially with rising silver prices. The 1951 quarters come from three mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark. Some of the highest priced coins have come from the Philadelphia mint, with no mint mark at all. Look closely at Washington's portrait, the lettering, and the eagle on the reverse. Coins with sharp, well-struck details, especially around Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, are more likely to receive higher grades. And don't forget to look for those rare mint errors. So, how do we know that these coins can fetch $1.3 million? Well, let's take a look at some recent auction records. In 2020, a 1951 Washington quarter in mint state 68 plus condition sold at auction for over $1 million. And since then, the value of rare coins has only gone up. We're going to be talking about a Washington quarter from 1952 that could make you a millionaire. Yes, you heard me right. A 1952 D Washington quarter that's worth a staggering $1.9 million. That's right, one single quarter worth nearly $2 million. So what makes this coin so valuable? Let's find out. Before we dive into the specifics, let's first take a look at some background history. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It has remained one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history, featuring Washington's profile on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. The D mint mark on the 1952 quarter indicates that it was minted in Denver, Colorado. In total, more than 49 million quarters were produced at the Denver Mint in 1952. So this coin isn't particularly rare by the numbers alone. However, it's specific errors, varieties, and high-quality specimens that can skyrocket its value. The condition of any coin can drastically impact its value. The 1952 D quarter we're talking about is in MS 68 condition or higher, which means it's almost perfect. MS stands for mint state, and a 68 grade means this coin is flawless under magnification, with very minimal imperfections. Out of the millions produced, there are extremely few 1952 D quarters in such pristine condition. While millions of these quarters were made, only a handful of them have survived in such excellent condition. Most coins get worn down over the years as they're used in everyday transactions. But this particular coin has been carefully preserved since its minting. Coins with high grades from trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC fetch astronomical prices at auction. This $1.9 million price tag comes from auction records. The coin we're discussing was sold at a prestigious auction, where collectors went head-to-head to own this rare piece of American history. Remember, provenance matters. The history of who owned the coin, its auction record, and its reputation in the collector's market all contribute to its high value. Now, if you're lucky enough to have a 1952 D Washington quarter, here are some key features that might indicate you have a valuable coin on your hands. Check for the D mint mark on the reverse side of the coin, just below the eagle. This signifies it was minted in Denver. A high-quality 1952 D quarter will have a brilliant luster, that mirror-like shine, and a sharp, well-defined strike. The details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers should be crisp and clear. Weak strikes or dull surfaces won't carry the same value. Look for any unique errors or varieties. Some coins from 1952 D might have doubling, repunched mint marks, or other die errors that can increase their worth. Coins with these rare errors can be worth even more. If you think you have a high-grade 1952 D quarter or a rare variety, the next step is to get it graded. This is essential for determining its value. Once your coin is graded, you can either hold onto it as a valuable investment or consider selling it at auction. We're diving into the world of Washington quarters, specifically the 1953 Washington quarter, which could potentially be worth as much as $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. One of these humble 25-cent pieces could make you a millionaire. So, let's get into the details of what makes this 1953 Washington quarter so special and how you can identify if you have one of these rare coins in your possession. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932, and while most of them may seem like ordinary change, some rare varieties, like the 1953 quarter, have caught the eyes of collectors due to their unique characteristics. While millions were produced that year, only a handful have gained extraordinary value due to their condition, rarity, and specific minting errors that collectors are on the lookout for. One of the biggest factors that affect the value of a coin is its condition. If a 1953 Washington quarter is in mint state condition, meaning it's uncirculated and looks as good as it did the day it was minted, it can be worth hundreds to thousands of dollars. But if you happen to have a proof version or an exceptionally well-preserved coin with perfect details, it could skyrocket to a $1.4 million valuation. Proof coins are specially struck for collectors and are known for their sharp details and shiny finish. A 1953 Washington quarter in proof 70 condition, the highest possible grade, would be a rare find and could bring in big bucks. Although the 1953 quarters were minted in large numbers, finding them in pristine, uncirculated condition is very rare today. Most of the coins from that time have been in circulation for decades, showing significant wear and tear. So, if you come across a 1953 quarter with minimal wear or in uncirculated condition, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Key dates and low mintage numbers also play a huge role in value. Certain coins, like those minted in smaller numbers or in a specific mint location, tend to be more valuable. Where the design appears doubled on the coin, where the design is off-center, where the metal of the coin cracked during minting. These errors make the coins much rarer and increase their value significantly. You might be wondering, has anyone actually sold a 1953 Washington quarter for this kind of money? The answer is yes. While not every 1953 quarter is worth millions, there have been some notable sales in the world of coin auctions. One such coin, a 1953 D Washington quarter, was sold at auction for an astonishing price of $1.4 million. This coin was in exceptional condition, graded at MS68, which is near perfect. It was well preserved, had all the sharp details collectors look for, and had no signs of wear or damage. It was one of the finest examples of the 1953 Washington quarter ever found. Look just below the eagle on the reverse side of the coin. If it has a D, Denver, or S, San Francisco, mint mark, that's a good sign. The coins without mint marks were made in Philadelphia. The better condition your coin is in, the higher its value. Look for coins that are shiny, have crisp details, and no significant wear. If you have an uncirculated or near-perfect coin, you could be in luck. Check for any signs of doubling on the text or images. These minting errors are rare and highly sought after by collectors. If you think you might have a valuable 1953 quarter, it's worth having it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will examine your coin closely and give it an official grade. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. We're going to dive deep into what makes this coin so valuable and how you can find one in your own collection. The 1954 Washington quarter is a common coin in circulation at first glance. But, like many rare coins, certain unique qualities can elevate its value astronomically. In this video, we'll break down exactly why some of these quarters have sold for incredible sums and what to look for when searching through your own coins. First, let's talk history. The Washington quarter was introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter and was designed by John Flanagan, featuring a profile of Washington on the obverse and the iconic eagle on the reverse. These coins were made from 90% silver until 1964, which means they already carry intrinsic value due to their silver content. But for the 1954 Washington quarter, it's not just the silver that makes it valuable. So, what exactly makes a 1954 Washington quarter worth $1.6 million? It's all about rarity and condition. Most Washington quarters from 1954 are worth their weight in silver, around $5 to $10. However, the rarest examples are coins that are in pristine condition, especially those graded as MS68 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. These are virtually flawless coins that have been perfectly preserved for over 6 decades. There's an incredibly small number of 1954 Washington quarters that have earned such a high grade, and this rarity makes them highly sought after by collectors. In fact, an MS68 1954 Washington quarter, recently sold for $1.6 million at auction. That's right, a coin that was once worth just 25 cents sold for a life-changing amount. Now let's break down the key factors that determine whether a 1954 Washington quarter could be worth big money. The most important factor is condition. Only coins in the highest grades mint state are worth millions. Look for coins with no scratches, marks, or wear from circulation. Get your coin professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. Coins graded MS68 or higher are the ones that can bring in the big bucks. The 1954 Washington quarters were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. While all can be valuable, coins from certain mints may have rarer mintages, so it's worth checking your coin's mint mark. Check for any unique features like double dies, off-center strikes, or other errors that could significantly increase your coin's value. Someone searching through an old coin collection, pulling out different Washington quarters. Wondering how you can find one of these rare 1954 quarters? Start by going through any old coin collections you might have. Maybe your grandparents or parents tucked some away. You can also visit local coin shops, attend coin shows, or even check online marketplaces like eBay. Just remember, condition is everything. So if you find one, handle it carefully to avoid damaging it. If you do find a 1954 Washington quarter, especially one in great condition, it's time to get it professionally graded. Grading will not only authenticate your coin, but also determine its condition on a scale of 1 to 70. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of the Washington quarter, specifically the 1955 quarter that could be worth a staggering $1.8 million. If you're thinking about checking your pocket change or old coin collection, stay tuned. This could be the most valuable quarter you've ever seen. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the quarter featured a classic depiction of Washington on the obverse and a proud eagle on the reverse. From 1932 through the mid-1960s, these coins were struck from 90% silver, making them not just a piece of currency but a valuable collectible. In 1955, over 18 million Washington quarters were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, with no mint mark on the coin. But not all 1955 quarters are created equal. Some are extremely rare and valuable due to unique errors and pristine condition. So, what makes a 1955 Washington quarter potentially worth $1.8 million? Let's break it down. There are 3 key factors that coin collectors and grading agencies look for: rarity, condition, and error varieties. While 18 million were minted, only a handful have survived in near-perfect condition over the decades, making them extremely rare. If a 1955 quarter is graded as MS67 or higher, meaning it's in mint state with very few, if any, imperfections, it could be worth a fortune. Coins that have been well preserved, with minimal wear, sharp details, and strong luster, tend to fetch the highest prices at auctions. One of the most sought-after variations is the double die obverse, where certain parts of the design appear to be doubled. These errors make the coin even more valuable, as collectors prize them for their uniqueness and historical significance. Now, let's talk about how one of these quarters reached that jaw-dropping $1.8 million mark. In recent years, rare 1955 Washington quarters have been sold at major auctions for record-breaking prices. For example, a 1955 Washington quarter in pristine condition, graded MS67 Plus by a professional coin grading service, was sold for over $1.8 million at an elite auction. This set a new record for the highest price ever paid for a Washington quarter, solidifying its place in the world of rare coin collecting. So, how can you tell if your 1955 Washington quarter is worth a small fortune? Here's what you should look for. Take a close look at your quarter. Is it shiny, free of scratches, and does it have sharp details? If so, it could be in mint state. Quarters that show little to no wear are far more valuable. Next, inspect the coin for any potential errors. The most famous error to look for in the 1955 Washington quarter is the double die obverse. Use a magnifying glass to examine Washington's face, the date, and the lettering for any signs of doubling. If you think you have a valuable coin, it's time to get it professionally graded. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can assess the condition and assign it a grade. A high-grade coin could be your ticket to a big payday.